All right, hello. Like I said, my name is Tim Ahlberg. Welcome to the virtual ELSA Preview Day, which is basically a PowerPoint via Zoom. So we're here, or I'm here anyway, at beautiful Elmhurst University, which is in the western suburbs of Chicago. We're a small liberal arts university of about 3,400 students in the town of Elmhurst. And ELSA is actually a 4-year college experience program, the Elmhurst Learning and Success Academy. We're post-secondary, so we're after high school. We're designed for young adults between the ages of 18 to 28 with disabilities. So what's unique about our program is that we work on academics. We're still doing the reading and the writing and the math. We really, like a lot of programs like this, are working on work experience and our independent living skills. And we also want to emphasize growth in our social and recreational experience. So in every way we can help it, we want the ELSA program to be like our students' major here at the university. Though they can get into other things to study, ELSA is very much our own curriculum and their own experience here at the university. I introduced everyone before, but the main three folks that are on this presentation with me are Jane Kanata, the director of ELSA, Nicole Casolari, our student life specialist, and Mary Jo Ramicone, our career coordinator. And they each work with our students at different points along the way. Jane is our director and chief academic advisor, and she meets with all the students all the time, teaches our reading and writing strategies at the top of the program. Nicole Casolari is our student life specialist, oversees the housing program, oversees the hiring of our life coaches, and teaches a lot of our classes in the first year or two with freshmen and second year sophomores. Mary Jo Ramicone works with a lot of our older students and does a lot of the placements in terms of careers, and also teaches a lot of more advanced classes in the career track in the program. So we have a lot of fun, do a lot of cool things, but our main goal is to see our students become more independent, to be able to seek out and hold meaningful employment, and to have improved their soft skills and their communication skills and their academic skills here. So the typical student that comes into ELSA is, like I said, between the ages of 18 and 28 with a high school diploma or certificate of completion. We want someone that's done with school. We don't require, but we prefer students to go through transition before they come to us. Not every student does. Some students go to transition for a while. Some find transition is not a good fit for them. And some go all the way through transition till they're 22. We have had students start as old as 27 and 28 here and there, but the bulk of our students are kind of between 19 and 22, give or take. Our students who are interested in the program really want to have that ability to develop these skills that I've been talking about already, and that's the literacy piece. That's dealing with technology, and we're talking about using, Outlook, email, Word, Microsoft products are a big part of our process here, and they have the capacity for employment, and they want to do it. They want to live independently. They have that is sufficient emotional skill, and what we mean by that is we want them to want to come to college and have this experience and seek out jobs and seek out friends and social life. They're interested in this. And they need to be able to read, write, do math, and comprehend what they're reading at least at a third grade level. Probably on the whole, our students are kind of between fifth and seventh grade with a whole lot of exceptions to that. We have some that are a little bit higher than that, some that are a little bit closer to the third grade level. We can fudge a little bit with some of the things, but the big one is the reading and the writing. College is reading and writing, so we want to make sure students are able to do a lot of that. And of course, we want your families to support their experience here. So, like I said at the top, academics is something that makes us unique. There are a lot of programs like this now. When I started in the business in 2007, there were basically two of us. Now there's 4 or 5 of us in this state, 4 or 5 in Wisconsin, one in Iowa, and several others in several other places. There's usually at least a couple in every state in the union at this point. But what makes us unique is that we're 4 years, and we really want to emphasize that literacy piece and that technical skill piece, because we find doing some of those academics, the reading, the writing, the math, those kinds of things, purposeful reading, reading for pleasure, really helps inform the soft skills and the communication skills that are imperative for the job piece. And like I said in the beginning, it's important for us to see our students working and getting jobs and seeking out meaningful employment when they're done. We'll talk more about that in a second. So all of our classes are taught by an ELSA faculty and a student here. Our secret sauce is that we hire a lot of students from other programs here at the university. The university has a communication sciences and disorders, aka speech pathology program, both undergrad and grad. We have an OT grad program. We have a nursing undergrad and grad program. We have psychology. We have a bunch of education programs, including special ed. So there's a lot of students who are interested in working with us. Plus, I have a lot of jobs here. I recruit a lot of theater kids, so I get a lot of my theater kids to work with us. So we have a lot of connections with those things here as well. So the integration and the inclusion with the university as a whole, we never want ELSA to be a bubble. We want it to be part of the university, and it starts with a lot of the students that we hire right through the teaching assistants, the life coaches, the job coaches, and so on. But you can see their students are also able to take college courses here as electives. So when we do that, we call it a pass no pass situation. And the pass no pass means they're not doing it for a college grade or for college credit, but they are participating in the class. So again, inclusion opportunities abound. We can explore particular things that students are interested in. You can talk to Allie and Bailey about their experiences with classes that they've taken like that. Some are interested in music, some are interested in theater, some are interested in criminal justice, some are interested in business over the years. We even can do a certificate of specialized study if we get someone who really goes down that rabbit hole. Currently, we have a student who's doing that, I think, with art. So, we can really individualize in how we do different things and the kinds of experiences they have here. So you can imagine some students do really well with that and are interested in maybe trying to pursue college credit for those courses. Not all of our students do, and not all of them are required to do it. But if they want to and want to try it, they can do what's called ELSA Plus, where they're taking those classes for credit and they're getting a college grade. And should this be in their wheelhouse and they do well, once they get at least 4 classes or roughly 12 or 16 semester hours or more, they could potentially take those credits with them to go to a community college later, or potentially come over to the university as a degree student. I have 2 current former ELSA students who work with me in what I like to call the Advantage program. So that's not a published program that you're going to find on our website. It's something I do. I'm a college life coach here. And so I kind of do a little bit more of a deluxe life coaching plan I've got about 17 or 18 students that are sort of on my docket, some of whom I meet weekly or biweekly. Some I just check in with as needed as they get a little bit older, but it's a way for them to get a little bit more support as degree students. So like I said, 2 former ELSA students. One is about to graduate this year with a degree in theater, and another is in his second year pursuing a degree in communications. Both are doing quite well. Both I meet with weekly. So the big thing, though, and the big bread and butter for the program is the career exploration. So we really want to see our students explore different kinds of interests. Some of them come in locked and loaded with real specific interests of what they want to do, and be sure to ask some of our students, or I will, at the end of this presentation, what kind of things they want to do and are doing. And then we probably, as we get to know them, will start to see things that we think they'll be really good at. Sometimes they match up, sometimes they don't, but we like to try different things. And so we do internships both on and off campus. We at least start those in junior year so that our students can have at least 4 over their time here. But sometimes that goes a little sooner and sometimes it goes a little later because, as you know, each of our students is a unique, beautiful flower, and we work with them as independently as we can to get them into things that they want to try. So the internships is a big part of that. And the learning how to seek and apply for jobs is a big part of that, which I talked about before when I was talking about how important the soft skills and the communication skills are. My favorite class that Mary Jo teaches is called Mock Interview. We're doing it right now. And I got to go in there I think it was last week or the week before, to do job interviews and just kind of put students on the spot and interview for jobs that they're interested in. And each Thursday, Mary Jo has different people come in to interview the students. So it's kind of a cool thing. And she even has student workers will call them randomly on the phone in some of her classes to do on-the-spot phone interviews, which is kind of more how it is these days. So the social and recreational experience is another big part of the program. It's important. It's fun to go to college. It should be. You should make friends. You should do things. You should join clubs and organizations. And that's actually a requirement, especially for my first years. They should join at least one club. And the big one is we want our students to go to 3 to 5 activities every week. So we want them to be part of campus life. We want them not just to hang out in their dorm room or commute and just go home and never come back. Go to games, go to theater events, go to lectures, go see the therapy dogs, go to a Lego building event on Lego Day, or whatever's going on. The first years have to actually keep an activity log where they have to keep track of things they've done, and then join clubs and what have you. And then, like I said before, a lot of undergrad students volunteer and work with us. We also have a Best Buddies chapter here, which sort of becomes sort of a middleman for that too, so that you have a club to join that our students are already pretty comfortable with, and working with other neurotypical students to work as buddies with them. So we have a lot of ways we do that interface. And this is sort of the abstract part. There's not a specific class necessarily. I mean, there's some communication classes, but a lot of this is sort of the life of being in and on college, which sets up for residence hall opportunities. So not all of our students live here. We've got about 50-ish, I think, right now, and about 30-ish, and they can correct me with the exact numbers later. Students live on campus, which is a big part of the college experience, having a dorm, having a roommate, having a bathroom to clean, having to deal with, your TV is too loud, or you have pizzas under your bed and they smell, or whatever that comes up. It's a part of the social piece, and it's a part of the college experience. So currently we have students in about 4 of our 6 residence halls. They get meal plans. Obviously, they're right here on campus. Our campus is beautiful. It's relatively small. They're about 34 acres. So the furthest walk you could do would be maybe 15 minutes if you lollygag from West Hall over to the gym or something like that. And we're really close to town. Downtown Elmhurst is about a 10-minute walk from here. There's a train station there. So our life coaches are really good on helping our students sort of learn to navigate social events. And we do life coach events where we go into town and we get travel training and how to safely go into town and those kinds of things. In addition to life coaches help our students with executive planning, and there's other goals and things that students do with their life coaches. Parents, you would pay a life coach $15 an hour to work with your student, about 3 to 5 hours per week. And so we can ask our students some of the things they do with their life coaches when we get to the Q&A portion of our show. So the admission process, the deadline was last week for this coming fall, but it's a rolling deadline. So I'm not like, no, we won't cut it off until we're comfortable with the number of students we have. We're about halfway to where we like to be right now. We're having a pretty decent year so far. So 15 is kind of our magic number in terms of number of students we want to bring here. We could go up to 20 if we have to. So again, we're not trying to slam any doors. There is an online application. It's free to apply. It's a bit of a pain in the butt. So I have another Zoom video I can send you to show you how to get through it. There's a writing component that the student has to do. We want to see how they write. There's a letter of recommendation assessment form that we want completed by a teacher or counselor. That's actually emailed to them out of the application. We don't want a traditional letter of recommendation. We really want this form complete, which has a rating system in it and so on. We'll need a high school transcript, official eventually, but we can go with an unofficial in the short term. And then we need the latest IEP and a psych eval from your school district done within the last 3 years. For my older students, this can be a bit of a problem because yours is probably too old if you're kind of 27, 28. So that's something that we try to help you seek out. So once we get all this stuff, we bring you in and do an admission interview with the team that you saw in the beginning. And then if that goes well and you're admitted, there's a housing screening for those students who want to live on campus. Now, living on campus is not required. It's a great experience. Not everybody's ready for it or wants it. Some students are perfectly happy commuting. It's okay. You don't have to. But if you do want to, you have to go through this housing screening. And again, you need to be able to take care of yourself, take your own medications. We don't do aids necessarily. I mean, without the context of like physical disabilities, it's a different discussion. But generally speaking, student needs to be able to navigate campus and be able to live in the dorm independently and set their own alarms and those kinds of things. And a little stipulation that creates a lot of stress for parents in the world when I'm out and around is the guardianship thing. So we don't require guardianship to get in or not get into ELSA. It has nothing to do with admission. We do ask that a student has at least partial or limited guardianship, so they have personal guardianship to live on campus. If a family has full guardianship, then it's hard to live on campus because they have to adhere to the school code of conduct. They have to be able to make yes/no decisions and kind of, deal with campus life. And should they, violate something, that student has to go and not stand trial, but, adjudicate for that. Parents can't come in and do that. So if you have full guardianship and you want the on-campus experience, talk to your lawyer and see if you can move to a limited or partial guardianship. And that's the only place that matters. It doesn't matter for admission. So you're wondering, oh, this must be really cheap and affordable, right? Well, unfortunately, we're a private school, so the prices are what you see there in forward. This is this year's tuition. Basically, we're looking at around $40,000 a year for the tuition, and then a typical room and board is around 12,358. This is kind of using middle of the road everything. There's different levels of meal plan. There's different levels of, air conditioned dorm, not air conditioned dorm. It is possible to go part-time, so it's a little bit cheaper per hour there. So we're talking about, a little under 8,400 a semester for part-time students, but we usually don't live on campus as part-time students. Because we're a certified transition program or a CTP program, we do have access to federal financial aid if families qualify. So that's not up to us, it's up to the federal government. You do a FAFSA for that, and if you qualify, you might get a Pell Grant, you might get work study, you might get an FSEOG grant, which is the Federal Supplemental Education Opportunity Grant. This is becoming a moving target in the climate we're in right now, so I can't make any promises about that. But something that's been excellent for this last year is that the Illinois Department of Human Services has approved DRS, Department of Rehab Services, to offer funding to students who qualify. So you can go through the DRS process. They can pay up to 16,000 some dollars for this, depending on what you qualify for. I do not know the rubric for that. If you are already a DRS client through your district, that's helpful. If you're not, you can talk to me after you're admitted and I can help kind of guide you a little bit. There's some pieces and parts of that process I do as well. But that's new from 2025 and we assume for this year too. So every little bit helps. So that is the PowerPoint presentation for our show. You've all gotten email from me by being here, so you know how to get a hold of me. The easy way to remember it is just ELSA at Elmhurst. That comes right to me directly. This is the ELSA hotline, but you can also contact my email. They both go to the same place, to be frank. But the email you got confirming tonight will also, you respond, will come to me. So yay, PowerPoint is over. Cool. All right, welcome back. So, as I said to everyone before, I've got a group of people here just to reintroduce because this is being recorded and will be on YouTube for the next year or so. I've got the whole team here. I've got Jane Kanata, Director of ELSA. You can wave, Jane. Yay. I got Nicole Casolari, our ELSA Student Life Specialist, who oversees the Residence Hall program, like I said. Mary Jo Ramacone is here, our Career Coordinator. She oversees the Career Coordinator. And the more fun part is I've got 3 students here. So, Bailey, I'm going to make you start. Introduce yourself, where you're from, what year you are, what do you like about this program?
All right, so hi, my name's Bailey Hathcock. I'm a current junior and I'm from Glenview, Illinois. And what I like about the program is I met a lot of people, and at first I wasn't really like used to living independent, but slowly I got used to it, and now I'm able to live independently. And the fact that downtown's also like a 5 minute walk, 5 to 10 minute walk, I take advantage of that, especially when the weather's nice. So when I like complete my homework, especially on the weekends too. Um, yeah, I'm always like out and about, so everyone runs into me. So I go to sports games. I like that there's like a life coach because it helps me a lot with like academics and budgeting and stuff like that. But yeah.
Cool. Thanks for throwing in the done with your homework part there. A plus for you. Trent, tell us a little bit about where you're from, what year you are, and what do you like about the program thus far?
Hi, so my name is Trent. I'm a sophomore at Elmhurst University. And wait, excuse me, could you remind me the questions again? I kind of forgot already.
What do you like most about the program?
Oh, yeah. Well, I kind of like older students I like around here. I enjoy some of the clubs and activities and events that goes around here. I enjoy a lot of classmates and staff and teachers. I enjoy that I could get a lot of walking done, and I enjoy the gym nearby. And yeah, I also enjoy having a life coach help me get experience downtown and school and homework in general.
Awesome. Allie, what do you got? Where are you from? I know you're living in Florida right now, but where are you from originally? What year you are, and what do you like about ELSA?
So hi, I'm also a junior at Elmhurst. I live in Glen Ellen, Illinois. There's so many amazing, beautiful things about the ELSA program. I love all of my friends that I've met. I love all the faculty and staff. I really enjoy downtown and going to the movies, hanging out. I love going to the theater shows. And that makes me very happy because I want to be in theater and I'm also singing in the choir. Yeah, that's some of what I like, but yeah, it's really fun.
Cool. So a lot of you mentioned your life coach. Can any one of you be a little bit more specific about what you do with your life coach? Like, so people have a good idea. Like, if I want to pay a life coach, what are they going to do with you? Go ahead, Allie. She had her hand up first. Sorry, Allie.
Yeah, sure. So what you're gonna do with your life coach is you will budget, you will talk about homework, you will try to get involved in groups and go to events. You will do training for the campus so you can travel. It's called travel training. And you will talk about what a week is for you and like how your roommates are and everything. That's a lot of what me and my life coach talk about.
Hey, Nicole, since you're here, can you talk a little bit about, the beginning of that process? How do you hire them? Do you establish some goals with the student and the families right away?
So we have a general application. There's a lot of students who actually want to be life coaches because it's a great experience for them. They're all undergrad students most of them are living on campus, some are commuters. Um, it's good extra money for them as well. A lot of our students who are incoming kind of start with a general template of things that are just going to be everybody's type of goals that they're transitioning to. But again, because everybody's very different, it is going to be based on the student's needs. Generally speaking, we start with, like Ali said, the travel training is huge, especially that downtown, because everybody wants to get down there and we want them to get down there safely. We do a lot of just the beginner, like making sure you're getting into email, making sure you can log in, you have all of your logins and passwords saved. Checking Blackboard is huge because that's where all of your assignments are going to be, and kind of keeping up with that. Getting into those activities and clubs and doing that, like the planning portion and the organization of setting those alarms and getting there. And then living wise, everybody has different goals, but we always check in about roommates, how things are going with your roommates. The beginning, we talk a lot about budgeting and using the JPass to get your dining plan set and making sure that you're not spending too much dining dollars. And then some students need a lot of help with just the organization, the cleaning, doing laundry, things like that. But those go by pretty quickly, and then they kind of come up with their own goals.
Cool, thank you. So I'm trying to make this quick for the recording purpose. Let's jump ahead to who's done some internship experience here. All of you. Okay, cool. Bailey, tell us a little bit about what you're doing or what have you done that you're excited about?
All right, so I previously interned at Ray Graham Association. It's a place where adults with disabilities go to. So some could be like blind, some could be deaf, some can walk, some can't speak. So you all kind of have to accommodate to their accommodations. So like for example, if someone wants to play bingo and they can't use their hands or they can't speak, you have to go and be like B58, and then you have to go up next to them and be like, all right, you don't have it, or it's okay, nice try, or hey, it's right here, let me help you. And then sometimes you have to be hands on, like when we're playing basketball in the gym, for example. Sometimes you have to help and be like, all right, this is how you shoot. And sometimes you can watch them shoot. It's just very, like, it's cool to learn because you never know what someone's going through. And it's kind of interesting to learn, like, someone's story.
Awesome. So what is kind of like the career goals? I know that it's kind of changed for you here and there, but what inspired you to do this kind of internship? What kind of career goal, what you're sort of thinking about for this?
Yeah, so I've always really been into like interacting and engaging and helping people. So for me, what I want to do in like the future is some kind of job with people, like interacting with people, working with people. So my future goal is to like become like either a social worker or like a therapist, counselor kind of thing.
Cool.
And it's just like the small steps for me to get there is a big help for a big process like this. So
Nice. Trent, what are you up to? I already know what you're doing, but I'd like to hear you talk about it.
I basically switch out the garbage bags around school. Meanwhile, I also pick up trash if there's anything worth picking up, making sure
Cool.
the whole campus is nice and clean.
Nice. And why do you like doing that? What's your career goal? At least last we talked.
Well, I know some people find a repetitive, repetitive kind of task or job to be kind of boring, but there's something I kind of like that it has that kind of straightforward feeling to it.
Cool. So what's your career goal?
My career goal is to be a custodian. However,
Ah,
though, if there's any other job that I might say like being a bellhop or something to help people that has my good advantages to it,
okay,
like
cool.
that again.
Mary Jo, can you talk a little bit about this process of like how you find these things and how do you connect students with these kinds of jobs? Like, what's your thinking process to help them find internship?
Sure. So we meet with the students freshman year. It even starts in the interview a lot of times when we're talking to them and when they're deciding to come into ELSA. And then freshman year, we kind of get an idea of what they're interested in. They go through career exploration. We do more of it sophomore year. And then we really just start exploring different careers, different ways. We do informational interviews. We do job shadowing. And then we see what they want to do. And then if there's already an existing internship, we line them up. But if there's something different that they want to do, then we try to make that happen. So Bailey's is a good example with Ray Graham of, I know she likes to help people and she was talking about social work. So we reached out to Ray Graham and got something going. And with Allison, she'll tell her story too. Those were two new internships as well because of hospitality. She has interests with that. So actually, they were set up a little bit before Allison, but when she came along, it's like, nope, this is a good fit for her. So it just kind of depends on what the student wants. We try to give them opportunities to explore and figure out what they want to do and kind of, guide them in that direction.
Awesome. Allie, so you're working in hospitality. Can you tell us a bit how that's going?
Yeah, so right now I work at Spring Hill Suites Hotel, and that's on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's early in the morning. So what I do is I help with the breakfast buffet and I talk to customers, and then my other internship is at a boutique. It's called Kind Kate Boutique. And so what I do there is also a lot of customer service, but also like organizing, sizing, restocking, a lot of stuff like that for the store.
Awesome. So, new topic, real quick. Who's doing electives right now? Bailey is. Oh, you're doing one now too, Trent? And you're technically doing one, Allie, aren't you? Or at least choir, I guess, counts as that. Um, no. So, Bailey, tell us a little bit about the elective you're doing or electives you're doing.
like, do you want me to name the ones I've done?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
okay, so I've done actually quite a few. I've done intro to sociology, I've done intro to psychology, and then eventually I did an intro to criminal justice because I was interested in like law for a little bit. And then I did intro to social work, which I actually did last semester, which that caught my eye to continue going down that path, the career path. So then this upcoming semester, I'm doing intro to social work with like groups.
Cool.
And yeah, so I'm still in the middle between like law enforcement and social work, but I figured out you could be like a law enforcement social worker. So I'm still curious. I'm still like, it's more of a social work lane that I want to go down though, but I'm still trying to figure it out. But
Cool. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being it's so easy, man, and 10 being like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Where are you rating taking these classes?
the criminal justice, I would definitely not do again, but it was fun. I'll give it. It was fun. It was fun. Well,
Cool.
outlasted. But social work, I'd 100% do it again.
Awesome. Awesome. Jane, can you talk a little bit about the advising process and how these things come up in discussion and how students are encouraged or not encouraged to take classes?
Sure. So we always look every semester, we meet every about week 8. So it seems pretty early in the semester, but it's a good time to really sit down and see where students are at. They have a lot of input. They talk about things that they like. And based on those discussions, they're able to choose any elective on campus that they would like to choose. So that's sort of cool. And sometimes we include just me in the conversation. Sometimes it's Nicole and Mary Jo. It just depends on what the situation is. So we're very collaborative and we're constantly building and doing person-centered planning basically to make sure that students are getting the curriculum that they want and they're able to mix and match. So some of the electives that they're taking may match some of those internship experiences that they're having. So some students choose just to do the ELSA program without those electives, and others, like Bailey and Trent and Allison, they've taken those electives and they've really benefited from them. And I know Trent's taking his first one during J term.
Yeah, I know what it is
And
too. I'm excited to talk about it.
he's living the dream there.
Mhm.
And I think he really likes his class. I've checked in with him a couple times. He says he's good. So that's great. So that support comes from that ELSA office, and we're there to help all the time because it is a big jump when you walk into that elective class, and it's a different kind of intensity for work. But everyone really does a great job with that. So we change all the time. The second semester we do the same thing. We have a 4-year plan, and then when they graduate, they've got a lot of independence with doing things more on their own. And we really push that students are going to live more independently. And I really strongly feel with those 3 to 5 activities, going to electives and doing all of these other things and living on campus, many students do. Some live in their own apartments with roommates, others have assisted living type situations. So the goal is to not go home. Get out as soon as you can.
Find some stuff to do, which Trent's really good at. But Trent mentioned in chat he's taking his first one as a J term class, and just sometimes we just get used to talking about that. But J term means January term. So this school has a fall semester, a spring semester, and just the month of January, which we're in the 3rd week of right now. So usually there's just single classes, like Mary Jo's teaching that career class, the mock interview class. Jane, are you teaching one? Someone else has got one going on right now too. Or
Yeah,
Nicole
we all
does.
have one.
You
We
all
all
have
teach
one.
every semester.
Cool. And then spring starts in February. But Trent, tell them what the J term class you're in right now is. It's fun.
Basically, my class focuses on the history of the Beatles, along with other important things that you would need to learn if you're ever thinking of taking a music major, which I'm technically not taking a music major myself. I'm just mainly taking it just for me to have a class going on during J terms.
How are you enjoying it?
It's pretty good. A little tough things here and there, but nothing that stresses me out or anything.
Cool. Do you like the Beatles?
Yeah, I mean, they're a really cool band, in my opinion. Probably in my top 10.
So okay, so we're in the 3rd week, so we're kind of in the Revolver era right now. Where are we at? Do you know?
What do you mean by that?
The albums, are they kind of doing the White Album? Are you talking about Revolver? Are they doing it sequentially? Maybe that's too complicated of a question.
Oh yeah, we're going for like chronological history of the albums. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Okay. Well, I think that got a little bit of everybody in there and got some of the basic common questions covered for purposes of recording. So if you're watching this on the YouTube, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to reach out to me if you have more questions or if you want to set up a tour or something like that. For everybody here, don't worry. I am going to still stay here. We can still ask questions and things. I just want to stop the recording. So thanks for watching.